Welcome to the reading for the 2nd of April on this day, Tuesday, in the year 2024. As you know, we have a bunch of new readings this month from Reverend Dr. Sorensen. He's the spiritual leader, actually the senior minister, I believe, at Seaside Center for Spiritual Living in Encinitas, California. Just a quick reminder. And he has got a different way of looking at things, which is good, because when we get a different way of looking at things, it actually helps us to make progress. We got to think. If we get engaged, we got to think about it. And this is what he's got to say for today. He's called it "A Wave Hits Our Shore." First quote is from Emma Stone. I'm sure you all know who Emma Stone is. What sets you apart can sometimes feel like a burden, and it's not. And a lot of time, it's what makes you great. As I said, that was Emma Stone. And he doesn't quote from Ernest Holmes for his second quote. He quotes from Jodie Foster. Two well-known personalities, Emma Stone, Jodie Foster. Normal is not something to aspire to. It's something to get away from. Normal is not something to aspire to. It's something to get away from. And you'll see why he's picked these quotes, because the bulk of the message is about difference, but difference in a different way than we normally hear it. This is not race, religion, it's different. In 2007, the United Nations declared April the 2nd to be World Autism Day, or as some prefer, Autism Acceptance Day. You can probably see where this is going now. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD, affects 1 in 36 children. ADS is a developmental disability characterized by persistent impairments in social interaction and the presence of restricted, repetitive patterns of behavior, interests, or activities that can cause a wide array of difficulties in social interaction, communication, and participation in daily activities. He goes on to say, there's a wave of new expression coming in with our children. With phenomenal number of children coming into the world with different vibrational patterns, it makes sense for us to open our eyes and realize there's something calling for our attention. These children use aspects of their awareness and brains not typically accessed prior to their arrival. They demonstrate a wide range and a varying array of gifts. And these range from deep, intuitive, and empathetic awareness to swift and incredible mathematical exactness, heightened awareness, amazing detail, profound compassion, and being fully present in the moment. Since God makes no mistakes, all these children of light demonstrate what is possible for all of us. These incredible expressions of the divine still hunger to connect with others, like any other child. They want to be loved and cared about, like any other human being. Just as one breaking wave doesn't define the whole ocean, one child may not explain the whole story. But each gives us a sense that more is going on than we know. We can choose to ignore it, or we can open our hearts and learn. Now, as you all know, there's a wide range of people on the autism spectrum, like a really wide range. So I think there's two messages here. One is that we have people coming into the world with new skills. They're lacking in certain directions, like social interaction, but they do have lots of different skills, heightened awareness. And some people would say that we all innately have these abilities, like super mathematical abilities and so on and so forth. And I think he's also saying that, hey, something's going on here in the universe. What is it? We need to find out what it is. We need to figure it out. And the other thing he's saying, I do believe, is look, just because people are different doesn't mean to say that we shouldn't accept them just like we accept everybody else. You know, sometimes it's hard to interface with somebody who is, quote, living in the moment, unquote, and doesn't seem to be aware that there's a social situation going on. You know, animals are kind of like this sometimes, especially cats. And we have 3 cats. And if they're doing their own thing, you are not going to distract them. Even though sometimes when you call them, they'll come rushing over to you and you call their name. If they're in the middle of something, they're focused. They're not going to move. They're just going to keep doing what they're doing. Whereas we humans kind of get distracted. So what's the main message? Well, the affirmation, this is obviously where Reverend Christian Sorensen is coming from. He says, the universe holds more than I know, more love than I feel, and I'm open to all of it, or to it all, as he says. So the message that comes to me is this, that number one, lots of things are possible in life when I'm open to looking. So as we continue to do our spiritual work, we do become more open and accepting. And when we do, we start to see things that normally we would miss. So I think the part that we're all able to, at some stage, tune in to these greater powers is kind of secondary to the fact that what do they have to offer us? And how can we use what they have to offer us? And being open and accepting and seeing how that makes a difference. And then all things in the universe are possible. The universe holds more than I know, more love than I feel, and I'm open to it all. I think that kind of says all of it. Reverend Lisa will be back tomorrow morning, and she'll be on around about 9 o'clock Central Time. Yes, I'm quite early today because I have to dash off to a business meeting shortly. I won't get back until 7 Central Time. And then once I get back, I have to get on Zoom to attend to something else. So this is kind of my window of doing this at a reasonable time today. So I hope these messages are relevant to you. And when they are relevant, just give us a like. And I also like to know your take on these things. You know, we all read these things differently. You know, I can read this, my wife can read it, each of you can read it, and you get a different take on what's being expressed here. So we kind of like to know what your thoughts are on some of these readings. As I said, please give us a like on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc. And also give us some feedback. Feedback is good. You know, we don't care if it's a critique, unquote, but you know, we like feedback. We love it when you love it. We also love it when you give us suggestions. And I've had some in the recent past, and I'm doing my best to incorporate those in the daily broadcast. So until next time, namaste.